living life full tilt. Joanna Jędrzejczyk still calls herself champion. She called herself champion before she got the belt, and she continues to hold that title in her mind. And you can see why. She says that she's just trying to help people out because her surname is so difficult to pronounce. I don't buy it. On her way up the corporate ladder, this complete focus on the goal and manifestation of her dreams worked for her. She had absolute belief that she was the best in the world, and then, she proved it. She didn't even consider the fact that she could be beaten. And this supreme level of confidence and certainty was what got her up every day. Made her train hard, get in the head of her opponent, gain victory after victory. She was champion for over 2 years. She defended the belt 5 times. There's no downplaying everything she's done in the sport. She worked tirelessly, putting herself out of her comfort zone, moving countries, leaving her family and then fiancé behind, and seeking out a new team. Not that there was anything wrong with her old team. She got to the top with them behind her, but she realised that the more people you learn from, the broader your knowledge, skill set, ideas, the more well-rounded you become. She built a team in the States that was in line with her goals. Nutritionists that would not only make her a diet plan, but write inspirational quotes on her water bottles to keep her charged for the day. A base at American Top Team that would provide their strength and conditioning plan, the sparring partners, the coaches, the culture, and a head coach that would regiment every inch of her day. Even her time to relax had to be put in this very strict box, because that's the way that she worked best. And she removed all distractions from the plan. She was always trying to do better every session, to do the things others wouldn't, to sacrifice in pursuit of her goals.
Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number 1 up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Niger, he'll come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they're getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. Nah. To the other side. I was like, what, God? Now I'm up on my way to the bank, I'm laughing, ha, ha. Now I'm up on barely here, thinking hater, rah, rah. Okay, moment I fade, I gotta go away. Okay, pressure on me if you can't make no mistakes. Okay, I remember time back down on 5th block. Never switch sides, free PC until he touchdown. Chuck it two up to the other side. It's all love, just know we down the ride. No new faces, no strangers vanish. I remember we were down, we never panicked. Now we got it, we super rockin'. Make your little girl wanna dance, see her booty poppin'. Heard you talking all about it, I really got it. Heard you talking all about it, I really got it. I've been working really grinding. Timeless, timing, perfect, see me wildin'. Flying, getting on my mileage. Rising, silent, see me see them biting. Everything's been changing, not the same no more. Nothing is the same, who's to blame? Don't know this game no more. I still do my thing and stack this change until I can't no more. People say I changed, but to my mom, he's still a baby boy. Chuck it two up to the other side. It's all love, just know we down the ride. No new faces, no strangers vanish. I remember we were down, we never panicked. Got it, we super rockin'. Make your little girl wanna dance, see her booty poppin'. Heard you talking all about it, I really got it. Heard you talking all about it, but I really got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She once said that she was motivated by accomplishment, not pride. She said that pride consumes the weak, kills their heart from within. And yet, let's talk about walking the fine line between unfaltering belief and damaging delusion, shall we? Because if refusing to admit that someone is better than you after they've beat you twice ain't moving with pride, maybe I'm the one that's delusional. You can, it is possible to, believe wholeheartedly in your ability and still accept your failures, grow from them, admit where your weaknesses are, admit that you made a mistake, that you are not perfect, that you are beatable, but keep evolving, keep evolving, keep evolving. Joanna, especially after like the first and second Rose fights, just seemed so dead set on retaining this cut and dry mindset that got her to the heights of the sport. Maybe there is something in that. Don't get me wrong, it's not worked for us so far. But you can argue the madness in the method, is that the right way to use that phrase? We've spoken before about a host of MMA athletes and also other professional athletes that use manifestation and fucking swear by it. And you don't just stop manifesting because you hit a bump in the road, right? You don't just throw all that work out the window. But the issue with how Joanna seems to be approaching it is that she didn't allow for the possibility of those bumps in the road. It's completely inflexible. If you say you can't be beaten, if you believe there's no way you could possibly ever be beat, it doesn't really give you anywhere to go when you are in fact beat. Whereas if you kind of take more of an easy approach to it and manifest the destination, but not necessarily just one path to it, you can adapt to whatever the journey does end up throwing at you. When Joanna first fought Rose, she believed she was unstoppable, so far beyond any other athlete in the world. She thought no one would ever beat her, and she'd retire without a blemish on her record. And she certainly didn't think that Rose, with her complete transparency, kindness, openness, lifelong adversity and 7-3 record was any match for the strawweight queen. She tried her usual mind games and trash talk tactics to win the fight before they even stepped anywhere near the cage. But Rose was creepily calm throughout the storm. We got into way more detail about that just a few weeks ago, so I will link the Rose Namajunas mindset video for you on the end screen and not cover it again now. But we know how it ended. Joanna's entire world was turned upside down by a first round knockout. And then she was faced with a choice. Reconcile two opposing realities, one where you're the unbeatable champion, and one in which you've just been stopped, to find peace. Not just peace, but learnings. Or deny it, fight it, discredit it, throw your toys out your fucking pram. Which would you choose? Remain steadfast to the idea that you are infallible and continue to move forward with unfaltering belief, or admit weaknesses and adapt to them. And when we look back at Joanna's story, all the signs were there, the signs that she may not accept responsibility for her downfall. She accused previous agents, managers, etc. of using her for exposure and money, and kind of hopped around representation-wise as she built her brand. At the time, I saw this as more of a Connor conundrum, as in she's not 100% focused on being champion. She's been distracted by, just shiny lights of Hollywood. But after the loss, I saw that problem differently, as we saw her pile on the blame hard. Her nutrition team messed up. She had a bad weight cut. Her fiance cheated on her and they broke up. Manager messed up her money somehow. And due to all these fools around her, she refused to say that Rose was the best. She believed that a mixture of all these other people failing her and, luck got her the win. She said that Rose should bow down because she's still the queen. And it's not just Rose that she has it out for. Joanna has lost to Valentina Shevchenko 4 times. 3 times in IFMA in Muay Thai fights and 1 in the UFC. And every time she lost, she believed she was robbed of the victory. And as Pat Barry said, she is fucking herself over by not admitting her own wrongdoings. And that shows in a lack of success when it comes to rematches. If she doesn't believe the other person legitimately beat her, why would she think that they're a threat the second or even third time around? Why would she change anything? Why would she train harder and think about their weapons, strengths, skills? We can all grow from losing, from admitting where we failed, from even taking responsibility for the things we initially believed were out of our control. They weren't. Not really. We always play a part in every chapter of our own story. We chose those nutritionists. We left it to the judges. We invited those people into our lives. We made a bad call somewhere along the road. After all, if you really think about it, where is blame going to get you? It's a temporary relief. The weight cut example. Do you have a scale at your house? Then get on that fucking scale every single morning. Implement willpower. As Gaethje said afterwards, you either do it or you fucking don't. The nutritionist does not cut the weight for you. And at the end of the day, it's an excuse. Even if it's the fact, it's still an excuse. Because it was still Joanna's fault. And if you dig deep enough into your own personal brand of blame, you'll be able to accept your responsibility, make changes and elevate. If Joanna can accept responsibility, she'll be even more dominant. But it's like a chicken and egg sitch, because she was so dominant for so long, she's probably more resistant to change. But the world changes around you, the opponents get better, the landscape evolves, and if you're not evolving as well, you'll get left behind. Barry said that the Joanna that fought Carla Esparza was the exact same Joanna that fought Rose. She didn't improve, she just got in better shape. And he compared her to Fedor. No one could beat Fedor for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. He was so much better than everyone else when he entered the scene that he kept his crown for so long. But he didn't really continue to get better. He just kind of stayed on his pedestal and let everyone else kind of catch him up. And it'll be the same in whatever industry or domain you play in. If you're happy treading water at whatever level you're at, those young whippersnappers will be biting at your heels, evolving, finding smarter, more efficient ways to do things better. But in the grand scheme of things, who gives a shit about all that work stuff? I'm more interested in what this kind of inflexible mindset means for our resilience, our mental health. How we face hard truths largely determines what we learn from them. What we learn from them largely determines how we grow as individuals. Just something to bear in mind the next time you're staring a hard truth in the face aggressively. Joanna always said that her biggest fear was to lose, and when it came to look that fear dead in the eyes, she just kind of pretended it didn't exist. She had the choice of embracing a new reality where she was no longer champion but could get back there, or rationalizing why she could remain in that reality that she was happy with because she was still the champion. One reality provides the raw materials for an exceptional amount of growth, but the other provides the comfort of not needing to change. One is the mindset of a champion, and one could be the mindset of someone who's already peaked. With another rematch just around the corner, we'll see if Joanna has decided to put her pride to one side and learn something from the first fight with Weili Zhang. She has been saying some of the right things over on her Instagram recently, and there was that rumour that she was going to train with Rose for this fight. Not seen it come into fruition yet, but I am recording this about 2 weeks ahead. More than that, quite far ahead. I think lots of things might change between my reality and yours. If you have any of the examples of dominant fighters that rested on their laurels and let the hungry hordes catch up with them, drop them in the comments. Watch those videos. I've already forgotten what I said I'll link, but I'll link them. And make some predictions for this. My camera died, and I'm not going to charge it just for this last sentence. Make some predictions for the Joanna fight. While you're at it, can't wait to hear what you think. Subscribe, damn it. Like if you please. And I'll see you next Monday for some more on UFC 275, because it's one hell of a card and I've got a lot to say. 3 videos worth of content.